Hello again, Broncos country.
Really excited to chop up some Broncos with you all this week.
Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS.
Orange
It is that time, your favorite time of the week. We're not for the Raiders, Chargers, or Chiefs. So grab your brews and your fantasy league. We've got that blue and orange blood that you bleed. Like Lindsay, Sutton, and Judy. We are the Iowa Broncos country.
Orange Weekly, fans, brews, and Broncos news. Welcome to Game Day Broncos country. Broncos are on the road in Carolina to face off against the Panthers in that dreaded early 11 a.m. Eastern time slot. So, ouch, Ayla, right off the bat. There you go.
I love it. I love an early game. I mean, I don't know how the guys feel about it. I'm sure it's harder traveling east. That's never a good time zone hop. But we get our game and get to get on with our day after it. So
Exactly. Hey everyone, glad you're all here. Robert is in the house. We can definitely get the show going. Now that Robert's here, you're fantastic, man. Glad to see you. Hey, post your comments, post your questions. We want to talk with you guys about the game today, hear your thoughts and the matchups you're looking forward to, and we'll get to some score predictions later on. So hit that share button for us, and let's get going. So, let's start with you. Broncos played really well, actually, last week against the Chiefs, and the way I see it, if we play the same way, I can't see how we wouldn't at least have a strong chance to win, but...
Yeah, I think the biggest news people are going to be talking about is no Garrett Bowles today. Last minute, he's going to be out due to an illness. They didn't really say much more than that, but I did see that he is officially out. So we'll have to fill that spot. It's Calvin Anderson is the next guy up for him.
That sounds right.
So we'll see what happens with that, but I think as long as our O-line plays clean, hopefully he won't be out more than a week.
Yeah.
And another name that we will get to see, we'll see how much playing time he gets, but we got Will Parks coming in wearing number 27. So that should be a fun addition to our team. I know everybody was really excited to have him back. So we'll see how the Broncos utilize him. So that could be exciting.
I think with the injuries we have, is Boye that's out. Mm-hmm. We're going to need him to step in big time, I don't think it's going to be anything where he's only out there for a few snaps or something, throw him out there and kind of, see what he can do early on. I wouldn't be surprised if they pick on him a little bit, as well as Ojemudia. But either way, I think those are kind of maybe some weak areas in the backfield. But even last week, we did pretty good against the Kansas City offense. We were talking about getting to the end zone or the red zone there. We held them to 4 field goals in their red zone trips. And so that's mind-boggling.
Right. And I don't think Panthers are going to put up as big of a march down the field as the Chiefs did. So I think, we'll be able to have a lot of stops earlier and not even need to mess around with the red zone. It would be my guess. So we'll see about that.
So my thoughts, look, Garrett Bowles, I'm actually really upset that he's not going to be out there, So, and hopefully, that jinx does work, John.
That's why I never bet on games, honestly. I'm the worst. It's just like, I don't do it. I don't like playing our guys in fantasy. I don't like playing other teams' players when they're playing against us in fantasy, anything like that. I know those jinx can happen. So maybe now I can't cross my finger. Now I got to knock on wood. Now I got to like trip 3 times to make it. I don't know.
Stay away from the black cats and don't walk in the inner ladders. And, there you go. Jose, how you doing? Christopher, glad you're here. David as well. David, Natani Muti, if I'm even saying his name right, is going to be replacing Garrett Bowles today. And one thing I'm worried about is, if I'm the Panthers, I'm bringing big pressure, blitzing a lot today, especially on that left side that has been so strong for us this year.
Right.
If you can get to Drew Lock, I mean, we've seen his foot mechanics and just how he works when he gets under pressure. That's where he throws a lot of bad balls and has a really high chance of getting intercepted there. Right. So I'm worried about that.
Yeah, and it is something to be worried about. I do that one often. It is something to worry about, but I also want to give that guy a little credit. He has to be knowing in his heart of hearts that he's got to step up a little bit better, that these interceptions have to stop happening, that, his eye line has to stop being so direct on exactly where he's throwing the ball, because that's what gets him in trouble. We were lucky it was only 2 last week. It could have been way worse. So I'm hoping today, after a week of practice, and I think he was a little bit limited, something with his back, but he's okay today. He's going to play. But he's got to make improvements too. And I'm always benefit of the doubt person.
Right.
I'm a big time believer. I'm the true optimist of all optimists. And no, this week's going to be clean playing. He'll move faster. He'll do his part, but it is going to be a lot harder without Garrett Bowles because he's been so good this year. Yay. Finally.
Let's see. Moody starting for Glasgow at right guard. Thanks. I completely messed that one up. The points are still the same with Garrett Bowles being out. But David, I appreciate the little fact check there. Jose, yes, we can all agree Hill and Kelsey are absolute terrible human beings. Thankfully, we won't see them again until next year. Robert, don't give up on Lockila. And I'm right there too.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I just was like, did you listen to it? I just gave him the ultimate. I just gave the ultimate optimist speech.
Direct that to me a little bit. I'm no way do I want us to get rid of Locke this year. Am I starting to waver on my confidence and if he can really improve and be that long-term starter? I'm starting to question it, and I think the next 4 games, big time, we're looking at seeing what he can do to improve. But give him like you're saying, the benefit of the doubt. Give him the full off season, the training camp, the preseason games, warm up. Fix his footwork issues,
and then coaching staff that's more than 1 season long.
Exactly. And get everybody, everybody around him is going to have so much more experience. He's going to have Cortland Sutton back next year. The offensive line will hopefully have all those big name guys back next year. And so look, at that point, halfway the season, when you get all of those pieces back, there are no excuses at that point for the guy. Right. So that's where by half point through next season, I think you're going to have a really good idea on what the Broncos are going to do with him moving forward. So right now, looking to see what he can do in the last 4 games of the season. Remember, he went 4-1 in the last 5 games last season. So if we can find a way to at least get that 1 win on the road today, I think that's, again, let's get some momentum going that direction,
Right. And we're playing a team that's kind of in the same boat of us as far as a dogfight at the end of a season that it's not going to matter for them anyways. So, they're really hungry for a win today too, but their injury report list was about a mile long, and thankfully still no Christian McCaffrey for them. So that's going to play in our favor big time. Not that, having him back would have been the first week that he would have been his old self, but you never know. It's just nice to not have him on the field.
Exactly. Yeah, more time, Robert, is what I'm saying. All the people are saying get rid of them, start with a new quarterback next year. Look, does that mean we go out in free agency and find somebody like Stafford? I don't. This is just way too early to tell as a backup, so that halfway through the next season, when we make that determination, we could, but again, that's just putting a Band-Aid on the issue. And so people are like, let's go do that. I'm not sold on that idea yet. Santos from SM Graphics, they put some things together for us on Instagram. So make sure you go follow not only us on Instagram at Orange Weekly, but SM Graphics as well. They do fantastic Broncos graphics.
Sweet. Yes. Very cool.
Let's see. David, locks per chant for throwing up BS under pressure is a real problem. And I think, those turnovers right now, and people are comparing Drew Lock's numbers to John Elway, Peyton Manning's, right? And their early career. And he's very similar, right? The problem is, you give him more time. Is he going to follow the trend with those guys as well? Obviously, he's not going to be a Peyton Manning, right? But does he turn his numbers around and improve over this next offseason going into next year? And that's where we're really keeping a close eye onto what he does. And if we answer that question.
Right. So. And hopefully by next summer, football and everything else will kind of normalize out a little bit. They'll get their full camps in. They'll get team working with team, no Zoom meetings all the time. I mean, hopefully we get a preseason. There's a lot to it. Hopefully he can stay healthy. That's another thing I almost want to say I worry about with him. But I say give him a little bit more time. I brought it up last week on the Bourbon Show about knocking over your Lego castle. And I think it's true. Because you build on something, you get a little bit of traction. You might knock a few pieces out here and there, but you just got to keep building on it. Because if we start all over from the beginning again, Broncos fans will be hating on whoever we get next. So I don't know. I think give him a full real season next year and see how it goes.
You're right. Even this season wasn't a full season for him,
Nope.
So, Jose, think we can get a veteran quarterback. Here's the thing, Jose, that's just putting a Band-Aid on the issue. And we saw how that worked out with Butt Fumble Sanchez, Casey Keenum, Flacco last year. So, what the Broncos really need, we're growing organically through the draft, right? You can see the pieces that we're getting, the real talent that we're getting. KJ Hamler last week, it's like this is a guy that we definitely need to be utilizing a whole lot more, as we saw last week, right? The problem is I'm just so sick of going out and getting a veteran quarterback that is just putting a Band-Aid on the issue.
Well, I think getting a veteran quarterback would be great for a backup.
Yeah.
I think having somebody that we actually, know and can kind of trust and can kind of fill in, good morning, that would be the key spot. And even with that, it's really hard. We're kind of watching it with Tua and Fitz McGee, but having their backup in their system and go back and forth is almost working for the Dolphins. So I would think having, a veteran as a backup next year might be more of a realistic issue. Yeah.
Jose, we're waiting for Sutton, but we have guys that have stepped up and think we're good without him. Yeah, this offense without Courtland Sutton is pretty strong. And when you think about how many rookies and second and third year players we have, you get these guys alone another year or two, and that's where you're really going to look at these guys getting experience, gelling together, so on and so forth. But you're right, do we need Courtland Sutton out there? No, but you can only imagine how much more of a threat that is. Jerry Jeudy kind of threw some shade over to Drew Lock after last week's game before deleting that tweet.
He's been running his Twitter mouth a little bit, and some of them are very, very, I don't know, mysterious. You kind of don't even know what he's talking about, but it's shade, and that's not a cool thing to do to your team. I'm sorry we're not winning out and getting a Super Bowl this year, but you got to be cooler than that, especially as a rookie. Like, just calm your tits down a little bit and stay the course and stay good with your family. Your team is your family, and quit talking shit.
Right. Robert, yes, gotta hate the Raiders. Everybody agrees on that. I think most Raiders fans,
I
even
know.
after they left Oakland there, Raiders fans are even saying, God, I hate the Raiders. Let's see, Andrew, good question here. What is Lindsey's role development into the season? Hope he gets going today. Gordon being beginning to become a clear number one. Yeah, and they're that 1-2 punch. They're very different, and I think we need to figure out a way to utilize Lindsey better. Lindsey doesn't need to be the rush up the gut guy. Especially with the
Right.
piecemeal
Let him bounce to the
offensive
outside
line.
and use his speed.
Yeah, more in the passing game. I know that's not a real strength of his necessarily, but some that if he can work on and get better, get him in that open field, and yeah, he's gone. He is gone.
He's
right?
so fast. Yeah, let him use those legs, and maybe get a little bounce off the outside. But sending him through the middle, through the biggest guys on the field, is just not working. And it's not that he's not talented. That guy is super talented. And I definitely want him to stay a part of our team, but their game plan with him is not working right now.
Exactly. And I'm afraid of losing him, right? So Robert Robert thinks that you need to get some game beers in. So maybe a little early, but
well, it's never too early for me, but I'm still on coffee because, but I'll get there for sure. Maybe I'll have to shotgun one before the game starts.
Yeah. Josh is definitely not a Locke fan. Locke is a QB backup. Look, this is his second year. Can you imagine people saying the same thing about John Elway? We need to get rid of him. We need to just make him as the backup. Peyton Manning as well. Look, his first couple years aren't great. Like, why are we sticking with this guy? So Josh, are you wrong? Him reading defenses is struggling. Yeah. His footwork is struggling. There's the way he makes his read progressions is struggling, right? So there are some things he definitely needs to improve upon. But I'm not ready to say, you know what, let's give up on this guy. He needs another, like I said, a full year with the full offseason and everything before I can make that determination. I get it. Right. It sucks. We're not winning games. I'm right there with you. But, brand new quarterback still trying to adjust to the speed of the NFL. And yeah, so
his second offensive coordinator, I love that phrase. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Let's just, let's give it a true chance with a real season, get this guy a little bit of time, and we'll know by the middle of next season, one, if he can stay healthy, two, if he's going to make some progress. So I'm definitely not giving up on him. Not even close.
Yeah, maybe it's the offensive coordinator. Pat Shurmur definitely has a part to play in all this. His play calling. He's not a dynamic. He doesn't have a dynamic offense, which for right now I think is what we need. We need just some continuity for these young guys. I think we're going to bring him back again next year. We're not going to bring in a third offensive coordinator in 3 years.
Right, because that's kind of the same thing with knocking over the castle. It's hard to just start over with somebody new every time. Give them all a fair chance, and then we'll know by next year. This time next year, we'll definitely know. Yeah.
At least our loss wasn't as bad as the Chargers against the most hated franchise in pro sports. The Patriots. Yes, agreed. Andrew,
it could be a lot worse, Broncos fans. Like, everybody needs to remember that we're definitely not the Jets, and and the Chargers still suck. And
yep.
I mean, it could be a lot worse. So I think we have a lot to. I think we almost beat the Steelers this year. I mean, we gave it a hell of a shot last week against the reigning Super Bowl champions. Like, we have not been, almighty, but we have not been the shittiest of shit. So
yeah, and that's the thing. We're hanging with these big guys. We're hanging with the Chiefs. We're not getting blown out of the water by these guys, and that is where I'm looking at. You give our team more experience, you give our team more practice, you give our team more time to gel. And this is where you're saying, the Chiefs aren't going to walk in and saying, like Travis Kelce, I don't care who we're playing this week. It's some crappy team and we're automatically going to win. It's going to be like, oh, we're playing the Broncos. Like, okay, this is a threat. It's not just a 4-8 team or whatever, we were at last week. And holy crap, like we get this game for free pretty much, right? This is a team that is definitely going to start making some noise around the NFL. I could really see in the next, next year, next 2 to 3 years. So,
Right.
yeah. Let's see. Jeremy, I think these new Bronco fans had a taste of Peyton Manning, so any QB. Yeah, and that's the thing. Broncos country is incredibly spoiled between John Elway, Peyton Manning. Broncos country is spoiled. And I think that's where a lot of that frustration comes from. We're not winning like we used to. But that happens.
And people forget, that was 17-year gap between the back-to-back Super Bowls and the Peyton Manning one. And it was just, the win. Nobody wants to remember the Seahawks Super Bowl, but at least we got there. That was always my thing. I'm like, we got there. But we are used to winning. I think that's where a lot of the frustration comes for the fans is when you've had an organization that's been good for so long, and then now these past few years has been really hard with the carousel of quarterbacks. I hate it, but it's true. We need to stick it out. We need to back them up. We need to quit saying fire everybody. Stay the course a little bit.
Fire them all.
Yeah. Like really? Yeah. What? Okay.
Yep.
So 100%. I think stay in the course and keep going.
Ayla, I hear you are writing a book.
It's not my Broncos sayings.
It needs to be a Broncos book.
Maybe I'll look into my next book of all my weird, quirky sayings. I'm just trying to keep up with Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, there you go. David, Steve Lindsay, and yeah, this is the problem. I'm worried if we don't utilize Philip Lindsay, he's a restricted free agent this year, guys. Like if he feels like we're just not using him and he can get paid the same amount, if not more, in a team that is actually going to utilize his talents. Yeah, why would he stay here to sit on the bench to get 4 touches a game? Like he did against Miami.
Right.
And I think that was the Miami game. No, it was the one before that. But it's going to be interesting to see what we do with him the last 4 weeks. And I say, go out there and find a game plan combination that works between the two of them,
Right. Cause he's too talented. And, even within all the Colorado loyalty in the world, it's a business when it comes to these guys too. And they all want to get paid. And that's why they're in the NFL.
My friend Andy is here. I'm not going to show his comment because it's I don't want to say too graphic. It's not graphic at all. It's just I'm not going to talk about it. You're the one who married a Seahawks fan, though, Ayla. So I don't know if
I know.
It's a daily reminder, if he's like,
when we started dating, I could get him to drink bloody beers out of a Broncos glass. That's how I knew it was pretty cool.
Okay, that's fair. Jose, fire Miles too. Now Bryce Callahan last year. Bryce Callahan was Miles. That's why we never saw him last year. So this year he's been looking really good. Obviously, this is his 12th, 13th, 14th season in a row where he hasn't played a full season. So look, when he's out there and he's healthy, 100%. Like I want that guy out there. But this is an every year thing for him, every single year. So it's kind of an issue here. But we shall see. Okay. Let's see. Let's get into some of our sport predictions. So everyone who's still watching, hit that share button. Glad you're all here. Trying to keep conversing with all of you, and it's always a fun time. But it is time for some of those score predictions, and Ayla and I will get to ours in a little bit. Andrew, fire Bowie. Well, Bowie isn't even out there right now. So
yeah,
Bowie. Bowie.
He fired himself.
So I don't know. Ayla, maybe let's go through some keys to the game.
For sure.
I'll start. The first one is what we did against the Chiefs last week needs to be what we do this week on offense. Run the ball. Keep the Panthers offense off the field. Without Christian McCaffrey, it's not as big of a threat. But even then, with our run defense, Shelby Harris up there in the middle. I mean, with our run defense, I wasn't too worried to begin with. But there should be no problem with stopping the run game. And, now that we have the backfield that we do and the defense in general that we do, I don't imagine the Panthers moving the ball on us at well. But what it comes down to is how our offense runs. Do we run well? Do we run often? Do we give up on that run game early? We saw last week that we stuck with the run game pretty much all game long and how well it worked in our favor. So that's one of my big ones here. And Robert, I do appreciate the lead-ins you're trying to give me for the insurance ad here in a minute, but I have to keep trying to use my own. We'll see if I don't get a good one in, I might have to default to yours are pretty good too. So I'll get to them here in a minute, but yeah, Ayla, that's my first one is the offense needs to do what they did last week.
Well, and it's what you do talk about, and what rings true is that they have to chip away, make the third downs manageable. It's keep the offense on the field, give our defense a little bit of a break, and just keep the clock on our side of the game. The clock management was great last week, but we could do even better than that. I have no doubt.
Yep. Rob, I like this one. There's a play called the screen. Get those RBs out in space. Is that what we did last week? I kept hearing somebody use the word screen, and I was like, I don't think the Broncos have ever really done this, or at least not this season. Okay, obviously I'm kidding, right? But yeah, 100%. When you have somebody like Philip Lindsay out there, this is where you get the ball into his hands and open field, right? Get him rushing,
right?
Hit that speed, right? So, this is. I don't see why we're not doing more of those, but
I don't either, because they've made it very predictable with Philip Lindsay, and it's like it's any team's defense can absolutely guess once Lindsay's on the field what's going to happen with him, which isn't what needs to happen. They need to change it up and get him on the outside and let him use his speed, because he is fast. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Carolina is bad on the outside, 100%. I mean, they're kind of like us. Their defense isn't as good, obviously. So our offense should have no problem moving the ball against them, and then our defense should be able to cut them down.
Which could say a lot for us today. It's almost like we'll get a break, and we should let our offense practice a little bit and do some of the things that they haven't been doing and get them a little bit of traction and feeling better. I think we could score a lot of points today. Hopefully, this will be a good team that we should, run up some touchdowns this game. Let's get some big points on board. Let's get our guys feeling really good at the end of this year, starting with today.
Yep. You know what makes me feel really good?
What, Kev?
When I can trust my insurance company to really take care of me in any situation.
Oh my gosh.
It makes me feel good when they care about me, they spend time to get to know me, they spend time to talk over the insurance policy step by step. So exactly.
Is there anybody who's personable like that?
There is one that I might have heard of at some point along the line. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's Centennial State Insurance Agency, guys. That's definitely who you want to reach out to if you want to feel good about your insurance company. You're not going to get this from any other major organization or major business, that one that maybe rhymes with BIPO or, I don't know, Gate Farm or something. I can't remember. I don't even remember what those ones are called because they're completely irrelevant to me. Centennial State Insurance Agency will give you the quote and again, walk down everything that's in there. And if they're not the right choice for you, they have the honesty and integrity to tell you based off of your situation and maybe some other competing quotes you're getting that they're not the right choice for you at that time. And you're, again, not going to get that from anyone else. So they definitely.
When you call them, real people answer, right?
Yeah. You're not and you're not going to be on hold for 30 minutes hoping some person in India
that's important
eventually answers as well. So I really highly recommend you guys reach out to them. I use them. They're fantastic. And I appreciate everything they've done to me. 303-838-0554. You can also find them on Facebook and Google and pretty much everywhere. Centennial State Insurance Agency. Let's see. Jose thought that one was good. So I appreciate it. Not my best, but yeah. So Ayla, we do have one before I get to one of your keys to the game, wherever it went. Jason here. We have talked about it. We haven't done anything yet. I think we're waiting till the end of the season, but people are getting excited about these prizes. And I know the Broncos, part of the stipulation is, not only do you have to submit a score prediction, but the Broncos have to win that game for you to be entered into the prize drawing as well. And of course, if you guess the score prediction correctly and the Broncos win, you automatically win. We haven't had any of that this year yet, but Ayla, what you thinking there?
Well, I have a plethora of prizes, and I think it's always fun when you get to kind of pick your own. I've got different hats to pick from. I've got a sweet backpack that, I'm kind of hoping nobody picks so I can keep it for myself. I've got a cool Broncos Lego helmet that looks super fun to build. I've got phone chargers. So I've got an array of things that somebody will be able to pick from. And hey, since I'm feeling generous, maybe they'll get to pick a couple of them.
Hopefully. It's going to happen. It's going to be fun to see who wins. Jose, unfortunately, they are only Colorado based, but they could expand and maybe get out over there someday. But if you're in Colorado, definitely reach out to them.
Oh, I miss Cali. I'm a Cali girl at heart. There's my brother. Yeah. What up, Casey?
Go. Casey, go Broncos. If he's your brother, he's automatically good people.
He's like the coolest guy. And I'm not just saying that because he's my brother, but like genuinely biggest Broncos fan and cool as hell. Love you, bro.
Maybe need him on the show. No, Jose, it's actually like legit good Broncos stuff. So you get to make sure you put your score prediction in there, man.
Yeah, and it's all brand new. It's not hand-me-downs, okay? Yeah. It's got tags on it. It's real.
I have this hat. Like I've worn it a few times. Maybe we could. It has some of my sweat and stuff on it. You guys might like it though.
We're not getting rid of one of my old shirts, nothing like that.
Oh, yeah.
I got a bunch of stuff at the beginning of the season because I thought it would be fun. I already did a giveaway on Instagram, you guys. So maybe go give us a follow on there, and I might just do another one. Who knows? Tis the season for giving. So. Okay,
Ayla, let's go to your score prediction and any other keys to the game. We're getting close here to game time.
Okay. Oh gosh, I'm the worst with score predictions.
Oh my, but part of what we do.
Okay, so I'm hoping we rack up a bunch of points. I'm hoping for at least 28 points for the Broncos, and I'm hoping our defense can set in with maybe they'll get their pick 6 today, guys.
You know what? Yeah.
Keys to the game is no free yards with penalties. Let's play a nice, clean game. Even though we've got a couple guys, offensive line that's going to be filling in, we need those guys to play smart today so we don't beat ourselves with penalties. I think that's going to be very important. No free yards for the Panthers. And then I need Drew Lock to step it up and do his part. We need some fucking touchdowns today. We need some enthusiasm, and we can do it because we know our defense is going to show up. That to me is a given right now. It's been the most reliable thing. So I need our offense to do their part, stay on the field, play clean, and score a bunch of touchdowns.
Bunch of touchdowns. I love it. Look, I think we're going to be utilizing McManus a lot. I think we can get into that field goal range quite frequently. Are we going to be able to get in the end zone more than twice? Don't think so. I'm thinking we could, I'm going to say 20 to 14. I think we're going to have I'm hoping for that pick 6. I'm not going to jinx it and say we're going to get it, but I think we can get in the end zone twice and rely on McManus's leg for a couple field goals there. So I'm going to say 20 to 14 is my score prediction. And the last thing I want to remind everyone of is the halftime hash. We are the originator of the live Broncos halftime show. Anyone else out there who does it is a liar and a copycat, and they weren't even creative with coming up with we're the halftime hash. What was it? Their rapid reactions. Come on, guys. At least do better if you're going to copy us like that, right?
Yeah, so, at least be succinct with the halftime word. Jeez. Yeah.
Do watch that. Just post on there. Hey, go to the better one over at Orange Weekly. It'll really irk them and get more people to the good show that we have. Halftime hash. As soon as halftime starts, I'll be here with you live today. We'll talk about the first half and we'll get our quick reactions. But the good thing is, I'll actually interact with you guys and answer your questions and your comments and versus being ignored by somebody else. So halftime hash, as soon as halftime starts, I'll be here live with you guys. Don't forget about our other content, pregame, the pregame podcast, postgame podcast, Tuesday Night Bourbon Broncos, no BS, the pregame show we have here, halftime hash. Check out our website, BroncosOrangeWeekly.com.
Follow us. Lots of good content on the website, guys.
Yep. So tons of stuff there. So, I know we're getting close to game time. I don't want to hold us more than we are. But
Rob,
Ayla,
I gotta go have that beer, right, Rob?
Yeah, there you go. Any last thoughts there, Ayla?
I'm excited. I think this could give us traction and momentum. I think we'll have the win big time, and I don't know. I don't see them scoring more than 13 points would be my guess. So I'll go 28-13. Broncos win big time and seal the deal.
Awesome. 20-14 for me. Broncos on top and getting that win, 5th win of the season there. Get us going on the right track in the last 4 games. So here we go, guys. Again, I'll be here with you halftime hash. Glad you joined us. Ayla, thank you as always for being here. And let's go get them.
Cheers.
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Do what I like, yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, if it's right, and I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, yeah, they know I'm a pro.